Hi, everyone. So, as mentioned earlier this week, I was supposed to send you all a recording of the lecture. So, I'm going to do that now because Zoom is working. So, as usual, the thought for today is think big, trust yourself, and make it happen. Think big, trust yourself, and simply make it happen. Feelings check as usual. I want you all to pause and just think to yourself and inquire, how do you feel? I know my mom does this thing. She wants you to give, she wants us to give her, us, me and my siblings, one word to determine how we're feeling today. So that'll be your challenge for right now. One word to decide how are you feeling today. Our topic for today is time management. Time management. In most instances, supervisors are most eager to learn how a future employee plans to manage their time. One of the examples I gave is when I'm interviewing for a job, usually the interviewee or interviewer will ask, how do you plan to manage your time? Most of the working in the field of human services, we really work non-traditional hours. We're on the weekends, we're late night, we're in the afternoon. We're not necessarily on an 8 to 5 schedule or 9 to 5 schedule. So it is imperative for everyone to have a system of how they will manage their time properly. One of the suggestions I've given is before you leave your office or your house, create a to-do list for tomorrow. So every evening before you leave your office or your home, create a to-do list for tomorrow, as well as before you go to bed at night. So tonight I will make my to-do list for tomorrow. Before I leave my office, I will make my to-do list for tomorrow. You can have a personal to-do list or you can have a professional one, but it's best in a working setting to have your to-do list. I oftentimes identify like a personal and a professional because I don't like them to cross. So that is a method to maintain good a quality time management. Here are some definitions. As I use different terms, I want to make sure that you can understand how I'm using these terms. The first one says time. It's a continued process and or progression, which includes the past, present, and future. Management is the process of controlling something. It's the production of something in order to achieve a goal. So if you're trying to do well on your job, that would be considered a goal that you're trying to achieve. Time management is an important skill in social work practice. It helps with planning, organizing, and to provide quality work. Here's a discussion or a thought that I want you all to have since this is a recording. How do you respond if you have paid for a service and the time is scheduled and they do not show on time? Some of the responses I've gained or gotten were some still allow the person to do the cleaning. For me, I am so upset. I get very bothered by people who don't respect my time. I'm a busy person. I have a lot of moving parts going on in my life. And I don't, if someone says at 10 o'clock they're going to be here, then I expect them to be here at 10 o'clock or to make contact with me before 10 o'clock to let me know, like whatever's going on. But a no call, no show, it's a problem for me, a big problem. Another thought I'd like for you all to have is, what are tricks and tips that you use to manage your time wisely? I'm going to mute myself as my sinuses are wearing me out right now. So it says, what are tricks and tips that you use to manage your time wisely? I'm interested in hearing that. What's working and what doesn't work? This video did not work the other day, but this is something that I really think is important for all of us to do. In order to ensure that we can manage our time wisely, our studying, our self-care, our employment, completing assignments, and sleeping. One of my students said to me, I do not sleep. Let me tell you, we have got to sleep. There is no way we can be effective in the field and for our family members if we're not resting, if we're not simply taking time out of our schedules to go to sleep. I do want you all to get with a classmate, and I want you to complete this assignment. I want you to introduce yourself. I want you to have notes, to take notes about it. I want you to hear from this team member. I would typically like 3 in a team. Provide clear thoughts, and I want you to give me a little reflection about what you all came up with. So in Canvas, you can reach out to classmates. In Remind, you can reach out to classmates. And I'm going to ask you to complete this assignment. This is an in-class assignment. We will talk about this on Tuesday. So I want you to have completed this. I'm going to want to hear, I want to hear some tips on studying, some tips for self-care, tips for employment if you work, tips for completing assignments, and tips to gain 6 to 7 hours of sleep. One of my students did share that she sleeps for 8 hours per night, and I admire her. So this is your assignment that you'll have as we work on time management for this week. And I just really want us to be intentional about it. I want you to make sure that you look at service learning contracts. I will be adding a blank service learning contract inside of Canvas today, so that you all will be able to use that to complete the assignment. What else? I really, really, really want to make sure that everyone is contacting their community partners. Make sure that when we're not meeting face to face, that you and team members are making contact with each other. We will not meet every week. There will be some weeks during class time that I'm going to have you to get with your team members. You should be looking forward at assignments that are due, and you should be intentional about getting them, about starting them, about saying who's going to do what, and just really moving forward with that. Make sure that you update your Canvas profile. You should have a professional photo there. Your Zoom profile as well. You should have a professional photo there. Any questions that you should have about service learning, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Team time is very important. As you change hours and days, make sure you're always updating that information, because that will serve as like a contract between you and your community partners. Wishing you all a fabulous, fabulous day. Make sure you're intentional about time management, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.